You in the back, you have your seats, please. All right. All right. I'm Mike Reynolds, Sitecore VP from the United States. I'm sure you all know who I am. I'm here to talk about the repository pattern in Sitecore MVC. It's not anything earth-shattering. If you haven't used it, please pay attention. If you've used it, pay attention anyways. All right, so if you have any questions for me, or any kind of questions at all, hit me up on Twitter, Sitecore UG, or hit me up on Twitter directly using my handle right there. You can get me on my blog. So I'm going to drop this mic because I can't deal with it, and I'm going to scream out so you can hear me. But I'll put this right here in case you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. So what's a repository pattern? Really, it's just an abstraction layer between your data access layer, aka ORM today, and your business logic layer. Why? Why would you want to do this? Well, you can swap out an ORM if you want. Well, maybe. Typically it consists of CRUD operations, so create, read, update, delete, blah blah blah. But in the Sitecore world, you don't have to do CRUD, because why are you going to update items from an outside thing unless you're doing some external, application or whatever? People are going to go inside of Sitecore, use Experience Editor. They're going to use the content editor to update content. So it doesn't have to be that way. Really, the good thing about this is that it actually promotes unit testing. So I want to be able to create a repository that actually, let's say, talks to Glass, or I can make it, talk to something else, which is totally bogus. But it's all about testing. That's the real reason of why you're going to do it. All right, so this diagram here kind of explains it a little bit. The problem with this diagram is that it's talking about entity framework, which makes no sense to what we do. However, make pretend that's Glass or Fortis. It is what it is. A controller will actually hopefully, well, it's going to call it, but it's going to get an instance of it if you used DI, which I'm going to show you an example of this. It's going to actually request information from Sitecore from the ORM, which would be Entity Framework, or Glass, Fortis, or CAM from the United States Slaver. And it's going to call a database, which is what Sitecore is doing. And then it returns it back to the caller.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
When you said you were going to scream, you sounded loud enough, and now you've stopped doing it.
Can't hear you back here.
You're
How about now?
very low.
Yeah.
So can you either pick up the mic or stop screaming again?
Or I'll stop screaming.
Yeah.
How's that? Is it good?
It's right this minute, it's fine.
All right, great. All right, so I'm going to show you a quick example. It's nothing really fun or exciting. I have no memes in this presentation. Sorry. All right, so I'm just going to show you these guys right here. So I have this stupid navigation folder here. Some links defined in here. Really there's only a link field on it. It's a general link field. So, I'll show you the data template right now. Maybe, if it actually pulls up. All we have it right here is a general link field. I'm doing nothing magical here. I don't want to go any crazy on this, because we all want to go home soon. So, I'll just show you. I'm pointing to something here. I have my link text right here. Nothing magical here. So this is what these guys are. And so I created a controller rendering. It's not that. Maybe I did it here. I don't remember. No, that's not it. Here. So I have a controller rendering in here somewhere, basically just using standard Sitecore MVC. It points to a certain class somewhere. I'm not going to show you the details of how to find it. But I want to get into the repository class I built. So I created an interface right here. It has one, I'm going to call it a read method. Yeah. How's that? You see that? You can read it, yeah. Great. All right. I have an interface. I'm defining this. This is going to be my model that I'm returning. I'm using glass here. This is just an interface that defines something or whatever. And this is the implementation for it. So what am I doing here? So I'm using DI. I'm going to show you how this kind of works a little bit. Using simple injector, I'm going to actually inject an instance of controller Sitecore context, which Nat Man actually wrote this code, for this guy right here. I'm not going to go into details of it because a blog post was actually posted out there many months ago. If you want the link for it, well, I don't have it, but I'll give it to you. If you ask me for your email address or whatever. But anyways, I'm going to inject an instance of this, and the reason why I'm using this guy is because I need to get the data source, from the actual rendering. And then here, I'm just going to set it on a, property, within the class. And, nothing magical here. I'm actually validating whether it exists or not, blah, blah, blah. And then over here, I'm just saying, oh, yeah, I want to grab the data source here. Does the thing exist? Does it have actually child items? And, this is not null, and hey, do you have anything? Okay, great. If you don't, return an empty collection. Otherwise, give me the items that were underneath the navigation folder inside of Sitecore. All right, so if I jump, so I'm going to get into a little bit of glass here. I don't know if you're using Fortis or another ORM, but there's nothing crazy here. I have define a model, two models actually. This is the model that defines or represents the folder. We're going to look for guys under that folder that have this particular, I would say implementation, but really it's an item that has the link field on it. And then I have a model that has the actual link field on it here. And then I actually created a mapping for both guys. Yeah? More zoom.
Yeah, please.
Is that a thing?
Thank you.
Yeah? All right, so this actually represents one of these guys right here. And then if I go back, I have another model for the actual folder itself. And what am I doing here? I'm using a map, which NatMan defines as a map in glass map.
Zoom again.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I'll be like.
Can you squint? No?
Please squint.
All right, so look it. I've done this. I've hard-coded a template ID in here. Do not do this. Put this in Sitecore configuration. If you don't, I'm going to find you. I did this quickly for this presentation, okay?
Yeah, sure.
No, I know where you live. So all I'm doing is I'm performing a simple query to grab, child items that have this particular template ID, which is this GUID right here. Nothing magical. You've seen this stuff before. I hope you have. If you haven't, then we're not friends anymore. However, so that's just the underlining stuff to make this work. Now, to the DI stuff. So I'm going to jump into, use a simple injector. So basically, we have a class that's inside of app star. Oh, jeez. Never saw it, does it? Yeah. All right. All right, so this is NatMan's class here. I'm actually wiring up this interface with this actual class. I'm not going to show you this because I didn't write it, and I want no responsibility for not working. But this is what I wrote here. So I have an interface that's mapping to that class I showed you earlier. And that's a magical thing. It just wires up magically at runtime. And then that gets injected into a controller, which I'm going to show you right now. It's into this guy right here. DI will actually populate this property here.
Guess what?
Zoom, yeah. So it gets passed to the constructor, the actual controller. I actually do a little vet and make sure it's not doing a certain here and whatever. Put it on a property inside of it, and then over here I actually use it. So I call the get navigation method on that particular instance. Return it, to the actual view. So the view actually here there's nothing special.
Zoom.
I was already on it, view. Yeah. Gets injected into it. Do some vets on it. If it's null or if there's something there, get out of here. It's a collection of those guys that live in the folder, and then I'll put it as a UL, LI, whatever. And I put some fancy CSS in here to do float left and blah blah blah, but I'm going to show you that because that's not really entertaining at all. So that's what it looks like over in the front end. Now, I didn't do any hovers or anything cool. It's just this is very simple stuff, and what I'm showing you here is something that I think a lot of people aren't using, and I feel like we should be abstracting this stuff out. So, I told you my presentation is going to be quick. Maybe I didn't say that, but it's very quick. Here's some more information about the repository pattern. So there's a lot of blog posts out there, articles, whatever, and a lot of videos. So I only captured 2 videos here. There's millions of blog posts, but nothing Sitecore specific. That's why I want you guys to walk away with this and write some blog posts and post some videos on YouTube. I mean, I could do it too, but I want you guys to pick this up. Any questions? No? No? Thanks, guys.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, why don't you talk more about why unit testing?
Because there's another abstraction layer defined by an interface and, blah, blah, blah.
Guys, thank you so much. I would say that the speed of that presentation doesn't do justice to how important that is. All right, please abstract your code and make it testable. If you have any more questions about that, come and, as Mike would say, hit him.
Or him.
Hit him up, sorry. Gotta get with it. And thank you so much again for coming, and enjoy the rest of your evening. What's left of it. Thank you.